Hello everybody. Matt Cox has a very nice tutorial out there about rigging a tricycle. Unfortunately, he did some initial rigging which he did not explain, which is essential if you want to follow the tutorial, and I thought I make this little tutorial here to make the prerequisite for Matt Cox's tricycle tutorial. And in addition, it just fits nicely to this place. What we will do is make these wheels turn when we move it. So let me start as usual with selecting the items in item mode. Go to Edit, Center to Bounding Box, Center, then select the other one, Edit, Center to Bounding Box, Center. Next I add a locator to the scene, and the first thing I want to do is change its shape a bit, so we can go to Locator, Display, then Locator Shape, and select Shape Custom. I don't want to have a box, I want to have a cone on the Y direction and make it smaller, maybe 0.2 meters, and up here maybe 0.1 meter. Oops, this was wrong, 0.2 meters. Okay, then we can keep the initial shape of the locator, or we can say here we want to replace it. Now this is much easier to select than a normal locator. And to rig these wheels, the first thing I do is I select back and front wheel and move it to the locator, or parent it to the locator. Now if I select this W key, everything moves with the locator. So far so good. Now there are several ways how to make these wheels turn. I know 3, and I think the one I show you is the easiest one. It is with the schematic view, and when we look at it, then if I select this and press the E key, then we see we can, properties, we can rotate it in the X direction. This is really what interests us. By the way, modeling things so that the rotation is in X and the basic direction is in Z makes life a little bit easier, because many of the channels are set up for this as the default. So let's go to the channel display, take the rotation X of the front wheel and bring it out to the schematic view. We do the same here, rotation X of the back wheel, and bring it to here as well. Now we need something to make this rotation, and this is a channel modifier. I go to Channel Modifier, Other, and Revolve. Now I have a Revolve modifier, and it has a distance output, a percentage output, and in our case what we need, an angle output. So I connect this to here and to the rear wheels, and this Revolve modifier needs some input. It needs position and rotation. Position is pretty obvious. Rotation might not be obvious, but just think of that you are not driving in the Z direction, but in the X. Then the Z position would always be the same. And because we selected this one as a default, it would mean the vehicle stands and the wheel stops turning. So we need position and rotation, and we cannot take these from the front wheel. I show you what happens if we take world position and world rotation and bring it into the schematic view. And if I try to feed this now to here, I get an error message which says a modifier dependency loop was detected and the previous action has been undone. Okay, so let's get rid of this again. Let's get rid of these two. Right click and say remove channel. So what we need is the world position and world rotation. These are global positions which are not affected by any parenting or so. So they will be correct. I bring them to here and connect world position to position, world rotation to rotation. And now if I move this, if you look very carefully, you see the wheels are turning but way too slow. The reason is that in the revolve properties or in the revolve channel, doesn't matter, we have a radius which is the default of 1 meter, and this here is much smaller. So let's find out what radius we need. I select this, go to View, Dimensions tool, and maybe better in polygon mode, and it says 390. Actually it is 400 millimeters. This one is about half. It's probably the way it is positioned. It's not on 0. Anyway, I put in 200 millimeters, which is the radius, because what we saw was the diameter. Now if I go back to item mode and move this W, you see something very strange happens. And the reason is the dimensions tool. I don't know, this is probably a bug, but if you know it, then it's easy to fix. So you see now the wheel rolls perfectly, at least the front one. The back one is only half the size, so it should turn twice as fast. We could do this by adding a second revolve modifier, or even easier, I select this and then go to a math modifier, multiply, and click in here. And if I have pre-selected the connection before, it was yellow, then Modo puts it in automatically for me. Now we only have to add in this p-value, which is 2. And if I select this here now, you see it rotates at exactly the right speed. Now you are set. You can follow this tricycle tutorial from Matt Cox, because this is probably exactly what he has rigged before he started his tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and have fun modeling with Modo. See you some other time. Bye bye.